Canada, the great white north, the backwards cap of that mean punk at the skate park, and now the home to the world's biggest crybabies. A new study from the University of Warwick in the UK analysed the crying patterns of 8,700 infants from countries including Canada, Germany, Japan and the UK. The results found that on average Canadian babies cry for 30 more minutes than any other baby all around the world. The babies then spent the next 10 minutes saying, "Oh, sorry, eh?"
"We're gonna gouge your eyes out and kick your head in! Sorry!"
But it turns out that a Canadian emotional roller coaster doesn't end at infancy. I mean, yes, we know from Degrassi, the Canadian high school is like with the clearly every student experiences drug abuse, porn addiction, and having to go to the prom alone. The horror! The emotional roller coaster continues into adulthood, and there is a vocal group of Albertans that are upset about their province's push to abolish daylight savings. The Albertan group wants to permanently move their province's time zones forward 1 hour. And it's not just so they can get their hands on the new Game of Thrones episode quicker. An Albertan lower house member, Thomas Dang, said that many farmers feel affected by the time shift due to their animals' response to changed feeding times. He further reasons that productivity in work and school is affected by the changing time zones and that there are a larger number of car accidents due to people's sleeping patterns being affected. And the Albertan people agree. An opinion poll showed that 82% wanted to remove the daylight savings. So why are we against it? Well, Canada is made up of 6 different time zones.
From west to east, they are the Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern, Atlantic and Newfoundland. Alberta, which is the mountain time zone, is neighbouring by the province of British Columbia, which is on the Pacific time zone, which is an hour behind the mountain time zone, and 2 hours behind the Central time, and 3 hours behind the Eastern time, and 4 hours behind the Atlantic time, and 4.5 hours behind Newfoundland. However, changing time zones would put Alberta permanently on the Central time zone, which is an hour ahead of where they currently are in the mountain time.
Look, don't worry, I'm fucking confused as well. So that is why I made this graph to explain it all. However, Alberta is neighboured by British Columbia, so some Albertans are fans of the British Columbian ice hockey team, the Vancouver Canucks, who play their home games based on Pacific time. These Albertans are upset that if Alberta changed time zones, a hockey game starting at 7 p.m. in Vancouver would no longer start at 8 p.m. in Alberta. These fans would now be watching the game at 9 p.m. Yes! There are people arguing that unsafe roads are far less important than avoiding sitting up late and watching their team play sport. This comes despite Alberta having 2 other teams in their own province that fans can support instead. So what's more ridiculous? The Albertan government are actually stopping change from happening in order to consider these views. I mean, come on Alberta! Spare a thought for your potentially new countrymen who have to watch the Canucks games at 3 a.m. I'm talking about Scotland, who have been invited by Canadian writer Ken McGugan to become independent of the UK in the wake of the Brexit and join Canada. Because nothing says independence like turning yourself from a sovereign nation into the 11th province of a country. That's like upgrading your iPhone 6 into 2 cans and a string. Although if Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is anything to go by, there are some pretty sweet cans in Canada. I mean, that's what we would say if we were a program that didn't focus on hard-hitting journalism. Yes, McGugan believes that if Scotland are upset by Brexit, it would be mutually beneficial for both countries if Scotland became a part of Canada. Why? Because Canada gets a closer foothold to Europe and can lodge to join the EU, which would strengthen their economy, while Scotland, they get claim to part ownership of Justin Bieber. Nonetheless, opinion is opinion. But my opinion, Scotland, don't upset the scientifically proven world's biggest crybabies. Just entertain the idea of becoming Canadian citizens. Please, give them a go. Canada may be #1 at crying, but they're also #1 in crazy time zones and crazy good-looking prime ministers.